So there's been a huge fallout, a lot of development since the Super Bowl, since the playoff game. A lot of that happening, for sure, yeah. So, it's been a while since I haven't talked about the Ravens. In the, so, after Mark Andrews threw our season away in this 2 point conversion, which really put me in a whole healing process, this team, like, fans with this team have just stuck to what they know. They extended John Harbaugh about a week and a half ago. Really, uh, again, Ravens fans, if you're watching this video, whoever's watching this video, if you're a John Harbaugh fan, if you're a John Harbaugh Glazer, Stan, Harbonite, this video might not be for you. I'm gonna be honest with you, because this isn't the move. Again, if the Ravens are a great organization, you would be able to move off of a guy like John, who ran its course for quite a bit, right? A guy like John Harbaugh, who really much, again, at this point, you know where you're going to go with him. Like, you basically did everything you could with him at this point, right? And I really don't know what is up with this team and just wanting to stick with what they know instead of fearing what they don't know. And again, people are going to say the grass isn't greener on the other side, but you could say that for a lot of situations, right? So it's really not an excuse, especially when you're looking at stuff where you got mistakes, you got a lot of playoff losses throughout his tenure, where it's really much the same way you're losing a lot of times, and it spans different quarterbacks, different pass catchers, different linemen, even different GMs. And there's really, again, he's not going to be your coach forever. Like, that's guaranteed for sure. You're going to have to find a replacement eventually. And if you're a good organization, you should have already found a replacement by now. A good organization that found John Harbaugh, and they were in a situation with Brian Billick back when John Harbaugh was hired. The grass wasn't greener on the other, like, the grass wasn't always greener on the other side, you could say. But that doesn't matter, right? That doesn't matter. You're eventually, it's better to not, it's better to not be complacent in a situation like this where we're in win now mode, and we got maybe 8 years of Lamar, of prime Lamar, of him at his peak, and you got 2 years of him being pretty cheap for his cap hit. And you're not gonna have the same players all the time. You're not. Shit happens, man. Shit happens. Especially when the drafting has pretty much declined these past few years, where you're not hitting on a lot of talent beyond the second round, really. And then you have a hard-headed head coach who really is stubborn a lot at times. It's not even about him being a bad coach as it stands right now. A good coach can just run its course with the team. The issue is not realizing it. The Eagles at some point realized it with Andy Reid, and you can very much see that. Like, dude, it wasn't perfect immediately. I mean, they had Chip Kelly, the next coach, but then they ran into Doug Peterson. Doug Peterson won them a Super Bowl. He was fired like 2 seasons ago. After 2 seasons ago, he was fired. He was already shown the door. Let's get this straight. He was fired 2 years after that Super Bowl. He normally won the Super Bowl. And they got rid of him because he wasn't good enough. They were not going to take mediocrity. They were gunning for perfection. And you're going to tell me right now, right? And here's the thing. They were also in a situation where they would have fired Nick Sirianni if they didn't beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. There were rumblings about them getting rid of him because they realized that even going to the Super Bowl with all that roster talent they have isn't good enough. They were going to go after maybe Belichick or like they were trying to go and buy a champion, like buy a head coach even. Go ahead and do everything by any means necessary, everything you can to win a Super Bowl. And that is not how the Ravens are moving. And they have a better quarterback. In some places, in some ways, he's the best quarterback in the league. You can say he's the best quarterback in the league. Yet you're not going in and just what you should doing what you should do. You're not doing what you should do, man. And dude, the success of Lamar Jackson as a quarterback has brought him 3 contract extensions now. It's been 3. He's now signed till 2029. And well, I'm not saying it's guaranteed you're not winning. But again, dude, why the hell is the same mistakes, losing the same way, being rewarded with different contract extensions just because you have an eraser at quarterback? And you should expect the ADC to probably improve as a drafter and as the roster gets better. We got DeAndre Hopkins. We've done a little bit better. He's done better with roster construction. Not perfect, definitely not perfect. We haven't signed a guard yet. We shouldn't be drafting defense in the first round. We should definitely be going guard. If Tyler Booker's there, we should definitely take him. I really don't care about Falele. I don't care how good you think he is. He's not. Set the record, he's not. But that's a different conversation. But, hey, man. Like you're noticing a pattern, and then you're just... Again, dude, like, I really don't care what you call me. I don't care, man. Like, if you're going to go... Dude, I've been a fan of this team ever since John Harbaugh. The first year John Harbaugh stepped foot in Baltimore. So if you're going to go... call me or anyone who agrees with me a fake fan or a Lamar fan just because you're insecure about your football knowledge, go ahead. We don't care. The truth doesn't... literally, the truth is not going to care about what you feel about him, dude. Like, it really doesn't... I mean, like, they really... It doesn't care, man. Like, dude, and at the same time, a lot of you Ravens fans, like, don't think you're to be taken seriously either. Don't think so. I'm gonna be honest with you right now. A lot of you shouldn't be taken seriously with like how you've spoken on wide receivers, on other stuff about the team, and ended up being extremely wrong about every single thing we've had on this team, about every single thing we've talked about this team. In ever since, like, for the last, like, 5 years, from Lamar's contract extensions, from wide receivers, and now you guys are talking about offensive line, about our bad offensive linemen being good, when they're not, all right? Let's be like, we have eyes, and we have been right all the time, and you're gonna be wrong again. But hey, even if John Harbaugh wins the Super Bowl with another Super Bowl with this team and retires, it's gonna take a lot. It's gonna take Lamar to go off, to go nuclear. 6 touchdowns a game, just have games of his life in playoffs where everything is tighter, and a lot of the things we're deciding to do with this team are going against him because we're not investing in offensive line. We're basically fielding the worst offensive lineman in the league. And then you have your head coach who's who's pumping his chest all the time, going in, wasting time out, having shit clock management in the biggest games for some reason. It always happens in the biggest games, in the biggest primetime games, all season long. But just because we win, it's not talked about enough. It's brushed off as nothing, which is the huge issue right there. You know, like, y'all can have a normal conversation about this team because you guys are just so insecure. You people are just always taking everything that's said against this team as, oh, you're not a real fan. You're a Lamar fan. You don't care about this team. You only care about Lamar. You're this, you're that. It's not going to be a normal conversation because, again, no one is saying John Harbaugh is a bad coach. No one's saying John Harbaugh is a bad coach. We're saying he has ran its course, and that is a reasonable reason. Andy Reid, it happened the same thing with him in Philly, despite being in the AFC Championship 4 times. But as soon after that happened, Philly was never settling for mediocrity. They stopped settling for mediocrity, and that's what we need to do. We need to stop settling. If it's perfect isn't good enough. This is how they think. How we should think should be the same old thing as well. Right? So, yeah, I mean, like, that's my thoughts. I really don't think John Harbaugh didn't do anything for him to come back even in 2025 or get his contract extended, especially this past season where a lot of the bad losses, you're having a lot of bad losses, way too much. If it was 1 or 2, sure, but it's becoming 3 and 4, sometimes 5, and then you also have that zero tolerance policy, or you're going in him, but he's not good anymore, and he's not even worth it. He's a kicker. Like, we really don't need. We're in a position where we don't need Justin Tucker anymore. We don't. We really don't. Like, we can go sign in UDFA, and he can do as good of a job as the current state of Justin Tucker. Especially when he was out there losing games for us. We lost 5 games in the regular season by a combine of 22 points. He missed 22 points worth of kicks. Come on, man. And again, like, he's very much guilty, bro. He's very much guilty, man. He's guilty. Like, dude, like, not first off, 1 is too many. Second off, 16 people are all lying that don't even know each other. Come on, man. It's not worth it. True or not, it's not worth it. You should already be looking for a replacement right now, whether he's innocent or not, because he's not good anymore. And again, bro, come on, like, if you're gonna refuse to draft players due to quote unquote character concerns, where where, like, they're gonna scream for the ball, for example, complain that they don't get enough targets, like, come on. He's basically a serial predator. But yeah, I mean, honestly, they knew about it. They 100% knew about it. They were covering it up, and then they were extending him all the time. And again, it's reasonable for us to be mad because we feel betrayed. He is not the guy we thought he was. It's basically what it is, right? And talking about keeping other people, you have Mark Andrews, who really should be traded. He should be gone right now, but that's a different conversation. He's really done nothing in the playoffs for you to tell that, you know, and it's really it. And it clears a lot of money as well. I mean, it clears the way for Isaiah Likely, and you can go and draft a tight end. But I expect a trade. I kind of expect a trade in day 2 or 3 of the draft. But here we are, I guess. Here we are. I mean, hey, the moves haven't been too bad this offseason. We re-signed Ronnie Stanley as well. Not bad. I mean, it's kind of crazy how we had to argue with people about whether or not to keep him, right? It's crazy. It's really crazy, man. It's crazy. Extremely crazy, man. Like, he's the second most important position on the offense, and we're debating on whether or not to bring him back because of money. If Ronnie Stanley was an edge rusher or linebacker, you guys would 100% advocate. So please stop. All right, and again, he took a huge pay cut because the highest paid tackles are up to 28 a year. Like, even if it had to cost 27 mils, just give it to him. Like, like in reality, you haven't been able to find you've done nothing to find a replacement for him the past few years. You had the opportunity, but you didn't. And he only got injured, and he and he only got his career-altering injury. It wasn't your fault. And then it lingered and lingered and lingered. His play got it regressed. It only did because you guys kept rushing him back in, and you guys didn't have anybody else to put in at left tackle, so he didn't have time to recover from his injuries. And now in his first healthy year since 2020, since 2019 even, he played good. He played good. So yeah, it shouldn't have been a debate. Like, again, like, this offensive line was already pretty shaky with our shit guards. So, hey, it's a 3-year deal, and you're solidifying everything in that position, you know. So, yeah, and like, what's next for the Ravens? It should really much be re-signing Lamar. Josh Allen got his contract 4 years before his current contract expires, and he's the highest paid quarterback in the league. They said they're gonna do it. Look to do it. They started talks, so that should really really help us with the cap in the coming years, right? It's obviously not going to be a team-friendly deal. It really didn't help when we cut corners offensively, especially on offensive line, and blew tens of millions of dollars on free agent safeties and 20 mil on inside linebackers who struggle in coverage. So if you can, get it done now, right? So learn from your mistakes, because if you sign Lamar to his current contract earlier, it would have been cheaper. So yeah, if you pay your good players early, you get them for 60% of the top of the market rate. So it is what it is. So I hope you guys enjoyed my pep talk. Hope you guys enjoyed. Tell me down below what you think. And yeah, comment down below. And yeah, I'm always gonna look at comments. Hope you guys enjoyed. See you guys in the next one. And yeah, I'm gonna try and come back to this YouTube scene right now. I'm working on a lot of projects. I'm gonna get a bunch out in the coming days. See you guys in the next one.